like to show you how to use your Rolleicord. There's a lot of models, a lot of variations. I'm going to break it down into 2 videos. This is going to cover the early Rolleicords, the 1s and the 2s. I do not have a 1, I have a 2 and a 2A here to show you. And the 1 is very similar, and I'll try to mention the differences. And then we'll do a separate one on the 3, 4, and 5. This is my Rolleicord II. This camera is in the state it would be if you just finished your roll of film. If it's got numbers showing here, it's going to work a little differently, but it will not be a problem. To open this, you just pull this little lever. It's not really a latch, it's this little piece down, and pull it open. And there'll be a little bit of a catch here where this lip goes over here, and sometimes it can be quite strong. I like to sit it down flat. If you just finished a roll, you'll have a spool down here. You can pull this knob out and give it a little bit of a turn and it'll stay out. That's handy. Move your spool up to the top. Now you're ready to put your film in. This is just a dummy roll I use for testing cameras and especially trying the film advance mechanism, which is often fiddly on these, and we'll cover that. I like to get the slot lined up here, ready to put the film in. Try to center it nicely and keep a little tension on as you wind it. Now, you do not have to wind any certain distance before you close the back, but I go ahead and wind like you do on later ones till this arrow comes up and is, somewhere about here. If you go much farther, you risk fogging your film. And you do want to do this in subdued light, not outdoors in full sunshine, at least shade it. Now we're ready to close the back. These early cameras have a red window on the bottom. Just use this red window for lining up the film to start, and then you use the counter. If you continued to use the red window as you went through the roll, you would only get 8 exposures. It would work, but it's just there as a convenient way to line up the start of the film. So we're going to wind that, and we're going to wind for a while. And you need some light to see in here, but again, you don't want too much. There's some little circles, and there's my number. Close the window. Now, the counter should be a little dot with a circle around it. That's where it goes after the 12th exposure. If it's not there, if your wind would have stopped as you went along, it's not a problem. You just have to keep pushing this release button in the center of the knob until you get this lined up right. It's in position for the first frame, so we're just going to reset the counter, and that involves this little knob here, this little button here, which you pull down this direction, a little bit of a diagonal, and push this more or less at the same time, but you can do them, separately as long as you have them both held. Now we've got a 1 there. We're ready to take our first exposure. The way you take an exposure with a Rolleicord is you cock the shutter by pushing it this direction, and you release the shutter by pushing it this direction. Pull that very smoothly. Now, after you've taken an exposure, you push this button to release the knob. I don't think it locks on the first one. And you turn until the number 2 comes up, and it should stop. Now, I go slow up onto this because this mechanism in here often gets a little sluggish as the lubricants get old and dried out, and it won't always snap in. It'd be great to get all of them professionally serviced, but a lot of us just want to go take pictures. If it wants to go past a number and not stop, you can just stop with the number centered in that hole as best you can, and you'll be able to shoot the roll. Your spacing won't be as perfect, but you can do it that way. That's more or less the way the Rolleicord I does. On the Rolleicord I, the differences I'm aware of are this button is on this side, as is the counter, and there is no release button. You just wind until the number lines up in the window. Doesn't stop. It does not keep track of whether you've taken a picture or not. There's no double exposure prevention. So you need to keep track of that. And the way I do that is by advancing after each exposure. There's pluses and minuses to which way to do it, but that's the way I can remember. Now you can cock the shutter, compose your picture, you've already focused, and make your exposure. Push your button, wind the film on, and you do that for your 12 shots. After the last shot, the 12th exposure, wind until you've wound the paper backing onto the top spool. You'll kind of hear it and feel it. And then you can open the back, take your film out, and your empty spool will be on the bottom. You'll move it to the top, put your film in, and ready to go again. I hope this is helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Please click the like button and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.